Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to another episode of the Athletics franchise here on MLB The Show 24, and we'll begin today's episode at home against the 58-65 Cincinnati Reds. We're not going to waste any time, we're going to jump right into this one, so if you're excited for it, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content, as Mika Bell, our ace, will step to the mound, and leading off for the Reds will be the all-star designated hitter, Elly De La Cruz, who begins by drawing a walk. This Reds team has been very underperforming this year after a big off-season, as Pete Crow Armstrong will strike out for the first out of the game. Bo Bichette up next, one of the big pickups, but De La Cruz is taken second as he swipes the bag, one of the fastest players in baseball. His 25th stolen base of the season. Later in the at-bat, Bo Bichette drills one to right center field, where Rooker will track it down. That'll be an easy tag for De La Cruz, and we'll take a look at this Reds lineup. Like I said, made huge signings in the offseason, but only sit 58-65. We'll see Willy Adames up next, the big signing from 2 years ago, followed by Christian Encarnacion, Cam Collier, Drew Gilbert, Everson Pariah, and Daniel below him behind the plate. No Vladdy Jr. in the lineup today. He's getting the day off. Here is Willy Adames with a full count pitch, and he draws a walk, so the inning stays alive. And a big at-bat for the first baseman, Christian Encarnacion. 0-1 pitch, and he'll pop this one up into foul territory. And despite a little bit of trouble, Mika Bell gets out without giving up a run. On the mound for the Reds will be the righty Bo Bichette, making his 16th start of the season. Zach Gelof will lead off for the A's like usual. And with the first pitch of the at-bat, he hits this one into right field, and it will drop. A diving effort out there at right by Crow Armstrong, but it rolls all the way to the wall. Gelof's rounding second, heading to third. This is going to be a leadoff triple for Gelof, who actually has quite a few of those this season. That is his 6th triple. So just like that, 90 feet away is our first runner, but Robbie Martin in the 2-hole today pops up into foul territory. And despite thinking about it, there's going to be no tag. We'll take a look at the A's lineup today. Different lineup than usual. A lot of guys getting some rest. It's been a while since we've had a day off. So we'll see Jordan Diaz in the 3-hole at first base, followed by Brent Rooker in right. Daniel Susac behind the plate. No Soderstrom at Ruiz in center, followed by Noda in left. Eddie Rosario dealing with a minor injury, so Noda will be moved to left. Davidson behind at short, and then Nick Allen getting the start in place of Jacob Wilson, the third base. Here is Jordan Diaz, the 1-2, recently called up last week, and he will pop up into center field. And this time they will send Gelof, and he will score on the tag. So the A's draw first blood. Is 1-0 as Brent Rooker up next gets a hold of a nice fastball deep to center field, but this one's going to be caught. The A's lead after 1. It's 1-0. We'll go top 4. Here's Willy Adames with one away, and he crushes this one to left center. Ruiz don't even try chasing after this one. This one is way out of here. That's probably the farthest ball I've seen hit in this series. Adames just jacked one 486. His 17th home run of the season. Adames in the second year of a big 5-year deal signed a couple of off seasons ago. He ties us up at 1 apiece. Top 5 now with 2 down. Elly De La Cruz back up at the dish, and he rips one out of right center. And this one's going to clear the wall as well. Onto the hill out there in the outfield. And the Reds, off a pair of solo shots in consecutive innings, have the lead. 15th homer of the season for De La Cruz, named to his first All-Star game this season. Was in some trade talks this year, but nothing too big. And the Reds lead 2-1. Zach Jackson will come in relief later in this game. Bell went pretty solid if you just take away the 2 solo homers. As Jackson begins the 6th by getting Bo Bichette to pop out to Susac. I'm going to bring up Willy Adames up next, 2-1, and he'll rip this one up the middle. Adames having himself a very solid day, 2 for 2 start. He'll grace first base for Christian Encarnacion with a 2-0, but he grounds it over to Diaz. Over to short, back to Diaz, 3-6-3, and that ends the 6th. Reds lead 2-1 still as they go bottom 6 now. Diaz at the plate, and he turns on this one. Deep left field. Diaz is sure about it, and yes, it will stay fair. Well, I thought that one might curve foul, but Diaz didn't think so. And it's a solo shot for him. A big homer here ties us up at 2 apiece, his 5th of the season. Diaz has been very underappreciated, in my opinion, in this series. He's been a great offensive bat. His defense, though, has been holding him back. But when he continues to swing the bat like that, it's hard not to give him some top playing time. That'll do it for Bo as he gets pulled for Graham Ashcraft, who comes in 2 outs here in the 6th. Just needs one more against Rooker, and Rooker will begin by hitting it up the middle, but a great diving effort by Willie Adames will end at the 6th. This game all knotted up at 2 apiece. Mason Miller will come in the next inning, 3.92 ERA for him, as he inherits 1 out and the top of the order as De La Cruz swings through a high fastball. It's a pitch that I would chase. 2 down now brings up Pete Crow Armstrong, former Chicago Cub, and an 0-2 pitch to the right fielder as he hits this one well to left field. Noda has to trail back, but he will make the grab, so that'll end the 8th. We'll go bottom 9 now. Ryan Noda now at the dish with 2-0, and he'll lace this one into right field for a 1-out base hit. And the winning run is now on first base. And the 8-hole hitter, before we get there, Dale Hernandez will pinch run for Noda, get some more speed on the base pass. As here's Nick Allen now, though, with 2 down, 0-2, and he swings and misses. So we will be going into extra innings, and we'll see what happens. Hernandez will stay in the game. He'll shift over to short. Soderstrom will then take over in left field from Noda as his day off is over. And we're going to bring in the closer and the all-star Tony Santillan. I know it's not a save opportunity, but he's not going to get one because, well, we are the home team. So I might as well put our best pitcher in the game. And he has runners on first and second with 1 out, and he gets a big fly out here to right. And there's going to be no tag. So Santillan with a chance to strand the runners and not allow a single one. And he strikes out Daniel Velohin. So the A's go into the 10th with a chance to walk it off. Runner on second. Here's Zach Geloff to begin. And he's going to not waste any time. Laces this one in the gap, and that's going to split the outfielders, and the A's will walk it off. Zach Geloff comes up huge in the first at-bat of the inning. And the A's win this one 3-2. They send the crowd home here at Sutter Health Park in happy fashion. Geloff, great hit there. And the A's get a nice win, 3-2. How about that? 10 runs for or 10 hits for us. This Reds only had 4. So if you take away their 2 solo homers, not much offense for Cincinnati as their struggle season continues. And then we counter with a 6-3 victory in Game 2. Soderstrom goes deep twice. His 24th and 25th homer of the season. And we go for the sweep, and we get it. We sweep the Reds 7-5. As Geloff goes deep, he now ties a career high with 19. And the A's playing solid ball, 8-2 in their past 10. But now they got to head on the road to face the 78-50 Minnesota Twins, the best team in the American League, 4th best team in all of baseball. A good litmus test for the A's to see where this current hot streak stands, as we, like I said, have won 8 of our past 10 games. Not something we've seen out of the A's that much this season, as they now sit 53-75 here in Minnesota. As the Twins wearing their City Connects take the field, and we'll see a familiar face on the mound, Alex Wood. Remember him from year 1? We traded him to the Mets for Jose Butto, and how much of that has been a disaster. Spent last year with the Braves, now here in Minnesota, and as he's holding on to the twilight of his career. But he gets Geloff too. No, he doesn't get him to ground out. I was about to say Geloff grounds out to begin, but an E6 from Carlos Correa will allow Geloff to stay at first. And that'll bring up Tyler Soderstrom, a now 2-time consecutive All-Star for us, who had that big 2-home run game a couple of days ago home against Cincinnati. But he flies out here to begin the first inning. And we'll take a look at the A's lineup today. They get most of their regular starters back. There was a day off finally, so it's the same order. Eddie Rosario also healthy back here in Minnesota, where he's played his career last year. And he's actually up bat next, so we'll see how he does here against his former squad. A couple of revenge tours in this episode, as it's a hit and run with a 1-1 count, and Rosario will ground out, but the hit and run works well because it's not a double play. So Geloff now at second base for Brent Rooker, but he swings through a changeup, and it doesn't matter. Going to the bottom of the first now, J.P. Sears getting the start. 6.50 ERA is not very good, but he has pitched better in the past month, so we'll give him that. He'll start off against Alex Verdugo, the former Astro, signed a 3-year, $18.6 million contract in the offseason. And, well, he'll begin this one by flying out to right field, where Geloff will put it away. And we'll take a look at this Minnesota Twins squad. Like I said, the best team in the American League. We'll see Alex Kirilloff followed by a good 3-4-5 in Royce Lewis, Eduardo Julian, and Ryan Jeffers. Carlos Correa in the 6th spot. Benny Pasquantino at first base. Zach Veen in right. And Walter Jenkins, the number 3 prospect in baseball, out in center field. Here's Kirilloff with one hot shot over to Davidson, who puts it away for the second out. I'm going to bring up Royce Lewis up next, 2-2, and he skies a fastball to right center, and it's going to be a nice 1-2-3 inning. here for J.P. Sears to get his day started. Top 2 now, Ruiz leads off for the A's, and he slaps one back up the middle. That's going to be a base hit, and now one of the fastest guys in baseball on first base. And he's going to try to swipe second, and he'll do it successfully as Ruiz with his AL best steal, his 37th. So in scoring position now for Robbie Martin, but he perfectly times one to left field, and he's going to hit a home run. The stolen base doesn't matter. Robbie Martin goes deep, the 7th home run of the season. And Martin is having a great year for the A's, a great sophomore campaign. The power numbers are down coming through, and he gives the A's a 2-0 lead here in the second. We go bottom 2 now. Here's Edward Julian leading off for Minnesota, and he'll begin by skying this one up over to Eddie, who makes the grab. Ryan Jeffers now up next. Chopper over to Noda, and Sears doing a good job trying to get through this heart of the order for Minnesota. As how about next up Jeffers, Correa, as he hits this one down the right field line, so the inning will stay alive. It will be a 2-out double for the 2015 AL Rookie of the Year, as that'll be his 15th double of the season. Vinny Pasquantino up next, and he turns on one, hits it to right field, and this one's going to hit off of the wall. Back-to-back doubles will give Minnesota their first run of the ball game, as the former Kansas City Royal acquired via trade last year with his 13th double of the season. Zach Bean up next. He draws a walk, so Sears having some trouble getting through the inning. Big spot for the rookie Walker Jenkins in only his 2nd career game, but he ends the inning by grounding out to second. But the Twins get one. We go bottom 4 now. Sears still on the mound, but he actually suffers an injury on this pitch. He pulls a lat muscle. Will be okay, but Luis Medina has to come out cold turkey and try to get through the rest of this inning. He's got one on, and he's got one out. Carlos Correa, and he strikes him out. So good job by Medina finishing off that at bat. Need one more out here, and it's in the form of Vinny Pasquantino. But on a 1-0 pitch, he will lace this one into right center, and again, it's going to be trouble. Pasquantino all the way to the wall. Runner on first will come around. He will score, and Pasquantino has tied this one up at 2 apiece. He's been the lifeblood of the Twins' offense today. So that'll bring up Zach Bean up next, and he'll actually hit it through the left side of the infield. Pasquantino being sent home. Rosario with the throw, and it is not in time. Minnesota leads 3-2 off the bat of the former Rocky Zach Bean. The next batter, Jenkins, will strike out, but Minnesota now with the lead 3-2. We're going to the top of the 6th, but Rosario doesn't waste any time. Crushes this one to right field. A solo home run for Eddie Rosario, who spent last year with the Twins. And he hits himself his 18th home run of the season, getting a little bit of revenge against the team that did not renew his contract last year. Signed a 1-year deal here with the Athletics, and he comes through tying it up at 3 apiece. We go into the next half inning. Steven Okert, the lefty, will be on the mound for Minnesota, making his 48th appearance of the season with a good 2.03 ERA. He'll start off against the lefty Noda, and he makes him look silly on the outside slider. That's strike 3. That'll bring up Logan Davidson hitting from the right side of the plate. He has not been good from this side this year, but he did single back in the 5th. Unfortunately, that will not continue into his next at-bat as he skies this one up over to second for Julian for the 2nd out. 2 outs down for the top of the lineup. Zach Geloff hitless so far today, and he gets a great slider to hit, but he pops it up. Just misses it apparently, as that's going to be out number 3. We'll stay with the A's offense going bottom 8 now, or top 8, as Giovanni Moran will grace him out. Another lefty in for Minnesota. There's 2 straight lefties up next, including Tyler Soderstrom, who gets a fastball right down the middle. But he just misses it, pops it up for Jeffers. Eddie Rosario now, homered in his last at bat. Gets another fastball also down the middle. But he hits it out to left, just missing these pitches that could do some damage. 2 down now for Rooker. He doesn't miss this fastball. He laces it up in the middle. 2nd base hit of the day for the A's right fielder. As that'll bring up Ruiz now in the 5-hole. First pitch to him, and he gets a little bit too antsy. Nice changeup out in front, ends the 8th. We'll go now into the bottom of the 8th now, with Medina still on the mound, and he is cooking. Despite having to come in cold turkey and giving up a couple of runs, he hasn't allowed a single one since. Gets the first batter, Lewis, to get out, and then gets Julian to hit this one deep to center field. But Ruiz, with enough space, makes the grab. Medina making great work in the middle of the lineup. And Jeffers up next, also flies out to center field. Great job by Medina all around to get through the 8th. We'll go into the 9th inning now. Jeff Brigham, the former Met, in, who hadn't pitched in the majors in 3 years before this season, doing a very good job with his showcase. First off to begin the top of the ninth, Robbie Martin, as he grounds out to third base. How about Jacob Wilson in the 7-hole? Full count. He swings through a slider. Could have been ball 4 instead of strike 3. And now 2 down for Ryan Noda, finally going up against a righty. But he just chops this good slider over to first. 1-2-3 inning for the A's. Minnesota Twins trying to walk it off for the ninth, but 2 down. And Zach Bean skies it up over to third base. Medina into the ninth, gets the job done. And again, we're going to extra innings. So we go into the 10th. Daryl Hernandez, our pinch runner, will take second base as he'll sub in. As Dilligan Davison up first grounds this one over to second. It'll at least advance the runner, but a bad throw will score the runner. An E4 on Julian, and now we have nobody out to runner on second base, and Davidson, as Geloff will fly this one to right. Davidson will tag Bean with an amazing throw, guns him at third base. How about that from Zach Bean? A double play now. Tyler Soderstrom up. Gets a nice fastball. Hits it to center field. And this one, though, will be caught. But the A's do push across one thanks to the E4. So we're going to bring in Tony Santillan, the all-star closer. 23 for 27. Can he strand the runner on second base and send the A's home with a win? Jordan Diaz will take first base. Now that Noda is out, Hernandez will stay in as shortstop. As the first batter is Walker Jenkins, who hits this one well to center field. Will be caught by Ruiz, and the runner Veen will be sent to third, and he will make it. So now just 90 feet away is the tying run. Verdugo in the top of the lineup up next with a 2-2, and he'll single through the right side of the infield, and that will tie the game at 4 apiece. Technically a blown save for Santillan. Unfortunately, though, it's not a run against him, though. Byron Buxton gets some more speed on first base for the Twins. His day off is over, and he's not wasting any time trying to steal second base, but an excellent throw by Soderstrom gets him. He's pumped up now. 2 outs. Alex Kirilloff, as who will finish the at-bat by grounding it to Wilson, who bobbles it but makes the throw. And we'll go into the 11th now. Griffin Jackson for Minnesota. He's been a 2.70 ERA, as Minnesota's had great pitching this season, especially out of the bullpen. Nick Allen's turn to pinch run. He'll take second base. As up first will be Eddie Rosario with a 2-1, and he'll hit it over to first. And that will advance Allen over to third base. Big spot here for Rooker. First pitch, skies it up. A pitch he usually likes to drive. Instead, it's going to be an easy play for Jeffers, and now we need a base hit to bring in the runner. But at least it's Esteury Ruiz, the guy you want. First pitch, slaps it into right field. That will drive in the run, and the A's take a 5-4 lead. Ruiz, our clutchest hitter, comes through again. So now 5-4. Robbie Martin at the dish, a 3-for-4 day from him. And Ruiz is going to take second with ease, his second stolen base of the afternoon. Next pitch to Martin. He times up a slurve well into right field, and it drops. Ruiz will score, and it's now 6-4. A's get an extra run of insurance. And now you got a 2-run lead. Martin still on first base. Jorge Alcala now in for Minnesota, just trying to get this final out of the evening. Well, they do it against Jacob Wilson, 1-for-4 on the day, and the first pitch is a nice fastball. Hits it well to right center, but not deep enough, as that'll be caught. But the A's now up by 2. Santillan with another chance to save the game, essentially. Susak will now come in at catcher, as the first batter is Royce Lewis, but he singles this one up the middle, and Kirilloff will score. So the Twins do get the extra inning runner, but they're still down by 1. It's up next is Julian, the Silver Slugger. 0-1, and he rips it to center field, and this is trouble. All the way to the wall. Lewis will score at 6-6, and now you got to worry about the Twins winning this one. Santillan blows another lead. Runner on second. Ryan Jeffers up next. Hits it off of the foot of Santillan, and everybody's safe. So now runners on the corners. Nobody out, and it's Carlos Correa. Santillan will stay in the game, and Correa will send this one off in style. A 3-run walk-off home run for Carlos Correa. And it all comes crashing down for the Athletics. Santillan with an implosion here in extra innings. He blew it in the 10th. He blows it in the 11th, and the Twins win it. So you can see the fireworks off the 21st home run of the season for Correa. And we had the best team in the AL on the ropes but they win it in extras, 9-6, an absolute fall apart inning for the A's, who have been looking so good. And then our all-star closer blows it. Santiago honestly has not been that good since the all-star break. And then unfortunately we lose 6-2 in the next one to Minnesota. Robbie Francisco, not a good start. And I honestly think he might get moved to the bullpen for the rest of the season. And then we get swept by Minnesota. We lose 6-1. So again, we lose 6 runs given up. Abel this time with a bad start. And our hot streak comes crashing down via a sweep. So we have a day off. I think we're going to take a look at the minors in the next episode. And more importantly, we're going to get our look at our draft picks to see what happened, what is their true potential, and who could be stars of the future. And I'm just going to give you a hint. You're not going to want to miss it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this episode, we won in extras and we lost in extras. So we'll take a little bit of both. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. As this is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.